Good morning, everybody. Joe Chacho here. Happy Thursday to everybody. Today we're going to chit chat about chargebacks. Probably one of the most frightening things to look in your checking account and see how you thought you're supposed to get money. There's not money. You go write a client and they say they love you. You're the best thing that ever happened to them. They're so happy they qualified. All of a sudden, either their check bouncers or they got buyer's remorse and they call in and say they don't want it anymore. Well, they found something less expensive. So we're going to go through a couple steps today on something we can do to hopefully cut back on the chargebacks. You're never going to prevent them all. So there's really no exact science of what you can tell each person to where they do not do a chargeback or they just sit and say, Joe, I want to keep it. You're the best guy in the whole world. I'm so happy you came here. Don't worry about the premiums. I want it. It's not even like that in the movies. So what we got to do, we've got to take good steps. We got to take smart steps to go towards the close to where they feel they're being involved in the conversation, that they're making the decision. And then our job at the end is to make a proper cool down and run through with them what they've just done and what we've accomplished for them. So with this here is that when you're going through this process, you need to kind of be open with people. You need to be somewhat frank. You need to be straightforward with them. And you need to tell them, listen, this is something people do not like speaking about. It's something I talk about every day. I've had to deliver checks to folks who have passed away for 15, 20, 25,000. You say that to where their mind gets set, 15, 20, 25,000 that they may want to buy from you. You let them know that you've delivered checks. So what you're doing, you're putting a subliminal thought in their mind of a face amount and what you do to bring the money to them. So what you're doing is that you're making a bridge to where they're going to sit and say, Joe, I want to buy from you for all the great things you do for your clients. Most important thing is that you got to have compassion for what you do. Can't go in like a robot and just start talking. You got to feel the way they feel. You got to extract some of the pain they have. Let them know some things that you've gone through, on how you've gone to people's homes before. People have not bought it for the mere fact is they felt they didn't need it. Their help was great. You left your company card there, which is the true stories that have happened to me. You left your company card there. You left pamphlets there because they want to review everything. And the family calls up week, 2 months, 6 months later and says, Joe, my name is Susie Q. I think my father had some life insurance with you. I see your card in this brochure from a carrier. Can you check that for me? I said, okay, let me check and see what the status is. And sometimes I remember, sometimes I forget. Because when you start seeing a lot of people on a regular basis, it's kind of challenging to remember each person, each face, each house. And I'm going to say, I checked my files, and your daddy did not have any type of insurance with me. She says, well, Joe, what am I going to do? And I'm there like a deer in headlights on the phone saying, well, I don't know. I wish your father would have done something. So these are stories that you should tell people that have either happened to you or you were on a training call or you on a CE call and you hear these things here. So what you want to do as part of your job for the future clients you're going to get, you want to tell them a story of what could happen and then tell them the benefits that if that was to happen to you, when your daughter calls you, I'm going to set the paperwork up for your daughter. I'm going to set her up with a couple funeral homes around town. I will be there to help her, and I'm going to actually deliver a check to your daughter. Sometimes they send a check to you depending on the carrier. Most of the time they'll send a check to the client. Sometimes the client may opt to do a direct deposit in their account. So it depends on the carrier, the client, the face amount, just a lot of different things in the state you're in. So to hopefully prevent things, we need to make sure we do the right things in advance. We got to make sure that when we're there, we explain to them how the program works. When you explain it to them, you've got your hooks in them a little bit. When you get your hooks in them a little bit, you got to kind of pull them back a little bit slowly to you to where they understand exactly what's going on. When you're visiting with them, you have to let them know that the decision that they're going to make with you today is a very important decision. This decision is going to alleviate a lot of pain from your child or your spouse. when this sad day comes. There's only one guarantee in life, is that you're going to pass away. Excuse me. Years ago when I was a kid, they said there's two guarantees in life. You got to pay your taxes and you're going to die. Well, you don't have to pay your taxes. You can go to jail. You can be a fugitive the rest of your life. But one thing I will guarantee you is that you will die. It's a fact, okay? Now, unless you watched the movie The Green Mile and you lived to be 117 years old and he was still living, who knows? The beauty about it is that we're professionals. I'm here today to give you some information, to relieve you, to allow you, when you put your head down at nighttime, you're going to sleep better knowing that when that uncomfortable day comes, your son Frank, your daughter Marie, your wife Gertrude is going to be taken care of. You got to make them feel that the decision they're making with you is going to make them feel better. Because we know that this is a financial and emotional decision. If you cannot get both of those decisions to come together, it's not going to work. Come on, Jimmy, come on in. It's not going to come in. So what you got to do, thank you, sir. What you got to sit and say is, how do I want somebody to speak with me? Not to me, with me. You need to record yourself to make sure that you're coming across as a professional. You're not interrupting them. You're not speaking too fast. You're using simple words that they understand. You don't want to use these big old long words because you want to impress them. Because the people we're dealing with, we're not there to impress them. We're there to provide them with a service. Speak to them to where they understand. Because what happens is that people buy based on an emotion. The premiums are a factor. They buy on emotions on what we share with them. Yet, they keep it based on the logic that they're going to think about after you leave. So a lot of times when people get buyer's remorse, they can't justify the price. You didn't explain to them exactly how the program worked. And for them, it's easy just to run from it, cancel it, I really don't need it, I've got other bills to pay. The best part about this here is that they're going to tell you, Joe, I can't start it this month, I've got some bills to pay. Get back with me after the first of the year. It's okay. Let me ask you a question. What is different today than it is the first of the year? They're going to give you some story. I can't afford it. I got a bill I got to pay. I was in the hospital. I got to pay that bill back. And I'm going to say, you know something? I totally respect you that you want to pay a bill. Yet, you told me earlier you wanted to leave your son Anthony as your beneficiary, correct? Yes. You told me you have no type of coverage in place right now, correct? That's correct. God forbid something happens to you. What's going to happen to Anthony? Right now, you're worried about a bill that you need to pay, which is a good thing to do. Let me be honest with you. You're always going to have a bill you've got to pay. Always. My thought is, why don't we make this one of those bills you have to pay? Because now it's a twofold. It's going to give you peace of mind, and it's going to let your son know that you love him, you care about him, and you don't want to leave him with that responsibility of coming up with $7, $10, $12, $15,000, whatever the cost may be. Go slow. Think when you're speaking. It's okay to pause, gather your thoughts, think of things. It's okay to have a cheat sheet. I got a cheat sheet. I got one. We're all good at what we do, yet things like this here, a little cheat sheet, makes you better. You're in the house by yourself with a client. There's nobody looking at you saying, oh, Joe, I saw you cheating on that test. No. What you're doing is that you're providing your client with a service. You're providing them the information. You want to make sure you do not forget any of the information. You want to make sure the information you've given them is coming across in a good order. Have a sheet there. Look at a cheat sheet. Purpose of it is to make a sale, to help the family out. That's what it's all about. We buy leads, we travel, we have gas bills, we got phone bills, we got all this stuff here. Our job is to help them out to where they want to buy from you. You get a very small window of opportunity for somebody to like you. You walk in, you're speaking too fast, you move it around, you're moving too many hands around their face. I'm not going to say they're not going to like you. They will buy from you. But overall, the slower you go, the simpler you make it, the easier you're going back and forth. They're going to sit and say, I like this guy here. He's a lot like me. Okay? Now, what we need to do is that we need to emphasize to people how it works. I like to draw a picture for the person when I'm in the house. Because I feel if I draw a picture for them, hopefully when they're thinking about canceling it, the logic of me explaining to them what was going to take place, hopefully they remember. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So this is why at the end of the call, when I'm through and they buy something from me, I congratulate them, I give them a handshake, give them a hug, depending on who the person is. And I'm going to say, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take us back to high school, and I want you to grade me to make sure I did a good service for you. And I'm doing that for a couple of reasons. Less chargebacks. It's in their mind, again, what we went over. Now I'm going to ask for referrals. So I'm going to say, you've got a little cheat sheet in front of you. Now, I've already written the price down on there. I've written down the face amount on there. I've written the draft date on there. And it's all on a leave behind from the carrier that they buy from me. So I said, okay, you got a little sheet here. What is the name of the insurance company I put you with today to take care of your program, your filing expense, your cremation? There's sometimes I look at you and go, I don't know. That says right here. They go, oh, Mutual Omaha. Okay, great. When, what is your face amount that you decided was good that you needed? $10,000. What is your monthly premiums? What is the monthly amount every month? $52.07, correct. When is your first payment going to start? November 3rd, correct. November 14th, the second Wednesday, fantastic. You want them to go over this stuff with you to where they're going over it with you, and what you're doing, you're having them go over it with themselves. You want them to remember what you've done. Let me tell you one more thing before I go. Remember what we talked about. You got level premium. It's always going to be the $52.09. It's going to always be the $10,000. It never goes away. It never goes up. It never goes down. What we did today is that we locked you in to everything that you're going to see. You're going to see on your policy that comes in. The policy, when it comes in, either I'm going to deliver it to you, depending on your schedule, or I'm going to mail it to you, but I'm going to have highlighted all the important stuff. And from there, you're going to put this in a very safe spot. I like to bring them a red folder. And with the red folder, I'm going to put in there, these are your important papers. I put in there, I am your policy. I said, when the policy comes in, I want you to put the policy in here. I said, I want you to put the leave behinds in here, your conditional receipt, if you have one to give them, an extra company card, any type of literature you want to give them, put in this important folder. You want them to think that the paperwork they're getting from you is extremely important. They can't lose it. You almost want to tell them, like, this is like 14 karat gold. Don't lose it. Put it somewhere to where like nobody's going to mess with it. So when that sad day comes, your son Anthony knows exactly where it is. What I try to do is when I'm sealing the deal up and I'm about to leave, I want to leave them with, I like giving out coffee cups. I bought a gazillion of them. So I give out coffee cups like doggone jelly beans now, because I'm not in the streets as much as what I used to be. I give coffee cups, which has my name, my phone number on there. I said, no matter when you need me, you call me. If I don't answer the phone or it's late at night, leave a message. I'll get back with you first thing in the morning. Okay? Number 2, company cards. I want to make sure my picture is on that company card to where I'm proud of what I'm doing. I'm proud to be representing myself as an independent insurance broker, and they see that I'm the real deal. Number 3, I buy magnets. I attach my company card to the magnet, and I put it on the refrigerator. Morning when you wake up, you're going to see me every morning. When you go to bed at nighttime and you make your hot tea or you have your decaf coffee, you can use one of my coffee cups. I want you to always be thinking about me, so in case you have a question, if you have a family member, you have a child that moves back in town, you have a new grandchild, you call me, and I'm going to take care of them for all of their insurance needs. And number 2, 3, 4, and 5, I've got friends of mine that I work closely with that can help you on homeowners insurance, renters insurance, car insurance, no matter what insurance you need. I've been doing it for over 23 years. I'm selling myself now. Been selling this for 23 years, offering it for 23 years, providing service to people for 23 years. Call me and I will point you in the right direction. Because when they think about insurance, I don't want them to call Heather up, because now Heather's going to go there and offer them a Medicare Advantage, and they're going to sit and say, well, Mr. Jones, you have a final expense plan? Well, yes, I do. And he's going to say, well, let me see it. Okay? Now you run a chance of that agent telling your client either some BS, or they may have a carrier that may be 25 cents cheaper, and you lose the deal. Make sure when you leave the house, in your mind, your heart, and your soul, that you own that house. No matter what they need, you're going to tell them, you call me and nobody else. When another paper like this comes to the mail, throw it in the trash, you've got me. You're going to call me, and I'm going to do everything for you. Let people know that what we do is not a fun thing to do. It's part of life. It's a job I've chosen. People do not like to speak about death or passing away. To me, I do it every day, so it's very easy for me. So what I want to do today is to make it as easy and simple as possible for you to understand the value of what we're doing, to alleviate the pain from your son, your daughter, whoever their beneficiary is going to be. Bless you. Be open. Be frank with them. Be straightforward with them. Tell them it's sometimes challenging for people to speak about it. You do it all the time. Once you've done it, it's over with. It's in the red folder and it's finished. When that sad day comes, Anthony, your wife's going to call me, and I'm going to be there to continue my job to help you out. Chargebacks is something you cannot prevent 100%. Yet, if you listen to this call again and again and again, and you kind of make the people feel special by giving them something at the end, making sure you explain things to them in a very simple wording, what you're going to do is that you're going to have more clients, keep more clients, and you will get more referrals because they're going to like you and they're going to trust you. With that said, guys, make it a great day. Appreciate your hard work. You got any questions, call me. And Henry is on the phone right now with an agent who decided and wanted to make a move on Medicare Advantage. Is it late? It's never too late. He's got to do the certifications. He's got to get signed up. So what happens is that when people end up speaking with Henry about the Medicare Advantage and they see the amount of money and the trails and the renewals you make on a monthly, annual basis, it's a no-brainer to do it. So with that said, I appreciate your hard work again. Call me if you need us. See you tomorrow on the next call. Bye-bye.